We have lots of Tesla stock breaking news to get into today that you need to hear, but let's just take a moment. Tesla stock is up 6.5%. This is the first time in a long time Tesla stock has actually went up on good news. And the good news that we got was pretty small relative to some of the good news that we could get in the future. I think this really shows you where Tesla stock is at right now. You're up 6.5% on a $1,000 price increase on the Model Y. Sentiment just got so negative. I think we're in for a lot of upside surprises in 2024 and especially 2025. And this is a good example of why you need to buy quality companies that you believe in for the long term when everyone else hates them, because then you get a little bit of good news and it changes the tone, it changes the direction of the stock for who knows how long. Granted, we do have a big event coming tomorrow, another big event with the Fed, and even an event right now with Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang. Who knows what happens next, but I think things are starting to change at least a little bit and get a little bit better for Tesla. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into all of your Tesla stock breaking news today. Andrej Karpathy said most people don't hodl and the government takes half, so it's usually less dramatic. We had a very few true believers at Tesla who took all options over a decade and never sold. Those people could be on a yacht, but I'm pretty sure they're still grinding on FSD. Andrej Karpathy was the previous director of AI at Tesla. He did go on to help co-found and develop OpenAI. He's back on the open market and has thrown around the possibility of coming back to Tesla before. If that were to happen, that would be great. The fact that he's specifically calling out Tesla here and the amount of money that some people made at Tesla, maybe he's thinking about coming back a little more seriously. After all, if there was a time to join back at Tesla, it is now that Tesla's AI is really starting to get off the ground. We have all seen the recent improvements of FSD v12 now being on completely an end-to-end neural net network. The improvements are happening at a rate of speed, a velocity in which we have not seen ever before. It's never evolved this quickly. And now that Elon Musk confirmed yesterday that the training compute power, the GPU power, the chip power that Tesla has needed to train FSD is much less constrained, maybe that means we really start to get exponentially more progress. On that note, let me remind you of a tweet that Elon made on May 8th of 2023, almost a year ago. Elon says, once FSD is super smooth, not just safe, we will roll out a free month trial for all cars in North America, then extend to the rest of the world after we ensure it works well on local roads and regulators approve it in that country. Sawyer Merritt just reposted this tweet from Elon here today and says, I feel like we might be getting close to the point where Tesla will start offering free FSD trial. Imagine how many people would opt to purchase FSD if they were able to try it and actually know how good it is. That could even be a big catalyst that I don't think a lot of people are really talking about. In fact, I haven't heard anyone talk about that. Rapper Sway Lee has also taken delivery of a Cybertruck. He has 15 million followers across all platforms. A couple music videos he's in as well have over 1.5 billion views. And he says, just got the Tesla's truck. It's crazy. Elon Musk, much love, brother. And again, I think this is one of those examples of influential people that are getting the Cybertruck, posting about the Cybertruck because it's cool, not because they're paid from Tesla to do so. Elon confirmed they have not paid anyone to post about the Cybertruck. That's free advertising to millions of people that otherwise may have not seen a Cybertruck for many years until they actually see one out on the roads. I think this could be having a very positive effect on a potential halo effect. This is now this guy. You have Pharrell Williams. You have Beyonce and Jay-Z. You have Justin Bieber. You have Kim Kardashian, among others, that have posted about the Cybertruck to hundreds of millions of followers How can that not be good for Tesla? Maybe you're starting to see again the early starting effects of a halo effect. And maybe we're actually seeing that in the data today. Maybe that's a reason why Tesla's raising prices $1,000 on the Model Y. Because in fact, if you take a look at Google Trends data, and I will scroll this down just so I know my image gets in the way sometimes when I show this chart. The blue line is the Model 3, the red line is the Model Y. So these are the two most important lines. The yellow line is the Cybertruck, and the green line is the Model X. Now, I don't have the Model S on here because, well, I just don't want to over clutter the chart, and I think we get a pretty good representation of the entire Tesla lineup with these four models. Well, in fact, the Cybertruck continues to rise in search trend activity. And again, I think these spikes that we've seen previously were like Tesla investors when, you know, we got news of the Cybertruck. I forget, in July, we got more details in 2023. I don't remember exactly what it was that caused that spike, but this was the actual launch of the Cybertruck. You've seen search trend activity fall down to a low of about 18. Ever since then, it's been rising due to the auto shows, due to maybe people seeing the Cybertruck in person, but more than likely all of these influential people posting about the Cybertruck online. You've recently went from 31 to 32 on the Cybertruck, a new high, and I look at that as organic search trend activity, not, you know, investors in Tesla searching about the Cybertruck. That was basically all of the search trend activity we had prior. Now you're actually seeing real people searching and talking about the Cybertruck. At the same time, you have the Model X, which is stable at 10. It's typically in between 8 and 12, so I don't expect to see a move there. If it does, great, but not expecting to see much of a halo effect with the Model X or the Model S. The Model Y has went from 32 to 35, a new high that we have not seen since at least the end of January. And the Model 3 is at a new high that we have not seen since really the first week of January. You're now at 37. So all of your Google Trends data is tilting upwards for Tesla at a time where it really doesn't. I mean, Q1 tends to be the slowest quarter for Tesla. And it looks like Q2 could be off to a really good start if this search trend activity means anything. And it looks like the Rivians are now able to access Tesla's supercharging network. Elon Musk just said this about the Tesla Cybertruck on the Don Lemon show that was initially not going to be released on X and then was just posted on X about 6 hours ago. He says, quote, "It's very well received. I think we have over 1 million orders for the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is one of those products that comes along once a decade. I think it's our best product." Following that comment, he said, quote, about the new Roadster, "The only way to do something cooler than the Cybertruck is to combine SpaceX and Tesla's technology to create something that's not even really a car." Which again, he's hinting towards some kind of flying car like he did previously. Now, this is what Elon said about Tesla stock, and I just want to go ahead and play this clip for you.
The stocks go up and down, but what really matters is, are we making and delivering great products? The Tesla products are outstanding. Last year, the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car of any kind in the world. So it was about 1.2 million units. It was the best-selling car despite being, I think, around 50% more expensive than the next best-selling vehicle of any kind, not just electric. So I think that's a testament to the incredible work of the Tesla team. Yeah.
Now, I think that was important because that's true, and I think a lot of people forget that. Stocks go up, stocks go down. A stock is a very poor reflection of what's actually happening in the business a lot of the time. Not all of the time. Sometimes bad stocks are lower. Some stocks, can be bad and they do really well, or the companies themselves are doing bad, but the stocks can do well. But really, stocks go up and they go down. If your company that you're investing in continues to innovate, invest, continues to grow, and sell a great product, That's what really matters. I think Elon is saying to read between the lines of what the stock is doing and ask yourself, is the business getting better? Is it improving? Is there really things that you should worry about that are actually material in the fear out there? And I think the answer is no. I don't think anything has really changed over the last couple of months with Tesla. If anything, Tesla's starting to raise prices, yet everyone's super fearful. And I think when you get to that point, people are just jumping on the bandwagon to hate on a stock, just to hate on a stock because everyone else is hating on a stock. You get to a point like we're at right now where even a little bit of good news can send the stock up 6% in a single day, let alone what the next couple of months could have in store. In simple terms, you now have very low expectations for Tesla. Any good news is really good news, and I'm sure we get good news. Could we get bad news? Of course. But is the bad news already priced into Tesla stock? I would argue yes. Elon also confirmed in the Don Lemon interview that the new Roadster will use drive-by-wire and will have a new yoke. Fisker said on Monday it would pause production of its electric vehicles for 6 weeks and raise up to $150 million in funding by selling convertible notes after missing an interest payment as it tries to navigate a cash crunch. Here on the day today, as far as hedge fund and institutional option activity, you have seen 829 different trades totaling $258.3 million with a positive order value of 56%. That aligns pretty well to the overall volume numbers, with calls today seeing 56.4% of all option activity and puts at 43.6%. So you're looking kind of neutral, but slightly bullish. And we'll see where these numbers are by the end of the day today. You also have to keep in mind the NVIDIA GTC conference is starting right at about the time the markets are closing. So that can also have an impact on Tesla stock, especially in after hours and the broader markets. We do have almost 10% cost to borrow fees today for Tesla. So it looks like even though Tesla stock is up 6%, short sellers taking this opportunity to short more Tesla stock. We'll see if that's a good choice or a bad choice here in the next couple of weeks. You do have short interest on Tesla of 3.46% with $15.66 billion currently in short positions. On StockTwits, sentiment's actually slightly lower today than it was yesterday, which I find very interesting. Yesterday's sentiment was neutral at 51. Today's sentiment is neutral at 48. So that's a little interesting. Message volume is higher today. Yesterday was low at 37. Today is normal at 52. And the participation ratio is rising today. So you're seeing more people talking about Tesla stock over here on StockTwits. You do have the participation ratio sitting at 57. Which I will point out is one of the highest numbers we have seen in a very long time. We do have the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average now at about 52.25%, which is still pretty low. It's basically a coin toss whether or not a stock in question is above its 50-day moving average, which is kind of crazy if you consider the triple Qs, the NASDAQ 100, is still trading about 7.4% higher than its 100-day moving average. The NASDAQ is still about 3% higher than its 50-day moving average and about 12% higher than its 200-day moving average, which on a historical basis, that's a pretty stretched market. So keep in mind, you could be looking at either the catch up or catch down trade here in the next couple of weeks. What that means is the leaders either fall and match the rest of the markets, what your small cap stocks have been doing, a Tesla even, interest rate sensitive names, and align each other with where the markets are. Or your big tech names, your leaders are going to roughly stay where they are, maybe go up a little bit, but your interest rate sensitive names, your stocks that have been underperforming in 2024, likely catch up to big tech, and that, if that happens, you could see a further rally in our markets. But I don't think the rally in our markets, if we get one, is going to come from big tech. Now, I know you guys have probably watched some of my videos recently, and I do think we are in for a correction. Today, the Nasdaq is up over 1%. I think this is probably the last-ditch effort to shake everyone up. Like, after today, the bears are questioning if they should be bearish. The bulls don't know whether they should be bullish. I think it really comes down to the events that we're going to have this week with the NVIDIA GTC conference starting today, the Bank of Japan raising rates tonight, which you're actually seeing TLT already responding to that, down about 0.5%. That means 10-year treasury yields are up almost 4 basis points today on zero news at all, which maybe you see more of that happening. Maybe tomorrow's Bank of Japan interest rate hike, first one in 17 years, could cause more selling pressure on TLT, driving yields higher. We'll see if that has any effect or correlation to what stocks do, and we'll talk about that more in the next video. But we also have Fed Jerome Powell on Wednesday. That's going to be the biggest catalyst of all, and I do think that's really the catalyst. If you're going to get a correction in the markets, it's Powell that's going to cause it. Also worth mentioning that tomorrow pre-market, you are going to get earnings from XPeng. They're a Chinese EV maker. Maybe if they have good earnings or good guidance, that could also be a positive or negative thing for Tesla. If XPeng comes out and says bad things or gives you bad numbers or bad guidance, maybe more fears about the Chinese consumer and the EV market broadly come into question. It seems like you're probably set up for an upside surprise, considering the sentiment is so negative. Also worth reminding you that you do have some important consumer staple companies that can be bellwether kind of companies for the state of the consumer, which will be Nike, Lululemon, and FedEx that report earnings Thursday and after hours, as well as Micron, which is a chip company, a chip producer, software company as well to a smaller degree, and they report earnings Wednesday and after hours. They could also be important for the semiconductor/AI trade currently in our markets. Now, Tesla stock on a technical basis, you really want to get above what is now potentially going to be resistance. That is this trend line right here where my cursor is. You want to get above this level. That's going to be about 175. Whether or not that happens is really going to come down to the events that I talked about previously. And he is just one unhappy man today. I don't know what's going on with him. He just won't stop crying. So it's really rough. But nonetheless, Tesla has an RSI of 39.93. Neutral is 50. So you're still under neutral. You're still bearish on the RSI, even after today's almost 6% rally. And the MACD is still pretty negative as well, with the yellow line under the blue line. So there's definitely a lot of room here for improvement. But again, this week is a volatile one. I think it's going to be a really good week or potentially a really bad week for the broad markets. But we will talk about this more in the next video when we go over your major event coming tomorrow that has not happened in 17 years. That could be a big deal, the NVIDIA conference as well as Powell. More on that in the next video. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about all of this Tesla news and Tesla stock being up 6% today. If you guys would like to come join the trading community, join a community of over 200 different members actively trading this market, profiting each and every single day, most days. Check out that link down below in the description of this video. Also follow the X account. It is Michael Tyler over there. It costs you absolutely nothing to do so, and I would love to see you over there as well. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.